invite Glory, you, to share.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and I'm delighted to be here. So, Reggie, thanks for the invite, and appreciate being here along the panel, the esteemed panel. So, I'll quickly go through a few slides. So, really, as I look at this, and when I say...
Sorry, a one-line introduction to yourself.
So, my one-line introduction is why we're here, actually to help fix this problem. So, we've been here as Cyanconnode for 9 years, would you believe, trying to sell our wares, and we've been very patient, I think, in doing that after 9 years of my shareholders' investment, and we really enjoyed it. And you know, we have got 4 advanced metering infrastructure projects running in this country today. We've actually implemented SESCOM in Mysore, which is our communications platform. We've got Tata Power in Delhi. We've got PVVNL, and we're just now implementing new GVCL, a project as well, which needs to be completed by about April time. So something that's normally would take about 9-12 months, we've been asked to do in about 5 months. So, you know, we're up for the challenge and working with our partners, Genus, to do that. But let's look at the problem here that we have in this country, you know, because this is what it's all about. It's about India and the problem. And the problem is you've got something like, you know, $32 billion of electricity that's generated is being used but not collected the cash. So, you know, you've got to look at collecting the cash to actually improve the GDP of this country, to get more electricity generated in the right places for those people that want to create jobs and create work for everybody in this country. So the real key issue as to why you should be going for AMI at a greater and faster space and time than actually you've done today. So as I say, 9 years and we've got 4 projects. So hopefully in the next 9 years, we've got 20 projects. So, you know, if you look at what the World Bank says, you know, it's actually cheaper for utilities to save 1 kilowatt of electricity by improving distribution networks and more efficiency than it is actually to invest generating new capacity. And that's what I mean. You've already got it generated here, but use it better and use it smarter. You know, the government here has put the UDAY programme in. We know that a lot of the public utilities are sort of a bit desperate on the cash front. The private ones obviously are private and got the initiatives going, and that's where we focused a lot on the private utilities. But at the end of the day, it's all about improving the cash performance of all the utilities. So the UDAY programme is good, but it needs to do more as we go forward. And those are some of the points really raised to improve the cash flow, reduce the cost to serve, and actually, as we said, engage the consumers in what the consumers are looking for and wanting to actually have smart metering put in. So what we do as a company is take our learning worldwide and bring it here into India. And, you know, we use narrowband radio mesh, not broadband, but narrowband, because it's got far greater reach, better penetration, and actually gives you more money for your investment. We have got a team now, managing director here. We've invested 22 people now in the country with all the skills needed to do whatever. Also, we actually manufacture the hardware here in India with 2 equipment manufacturers. And we're also looking at you know, we talked about models of saying, look, let's offer, you know, companies in India to have the right under license to white label our hardware and our software. So if any of you are really interested in wanting to license our technology and white label it, we're very happy to do that. And that's all about passing on and transfer of skills and experience and know-how to you in the utilities and the people in the industry here in India. Because if we don't share the knowledge and the transfer, it ain't going to happen. So creating the ecosystem to make it happen is really important to us, actually to create local wealth and generation of the jobs. And you can see some of the partners that we have. So we either work with meter manufacturers, system integrators, or mobile operators. And we're not fussed who we work with, as long as they can deliver the whole end-to-end solution. And that's something, a learning that we've had, actually. People say, look, it's great on the slides, yes, you can do this, you can do that. But our learning, really, of actually deploying advanced metering infrastructure in India, you know, the deployment is hard work, hard graft, getting there in the field to some awkward places that you think you can't get readings from, and having hands-on, you can't beat it. So we're really a system integrator in our own right, because we do go the extra mile. We do help the meter manufacturers to know how to put firmware into the meters, how to make those meters smart. We do help and work with the meter data management companies to actually say, this is the interfaces that we can deliver to you to get all of the readings. So we have proven technology. We know the worth there. I've mentioned some of those names so we can go through. That's an example in Mysore. And then really looking at some of the takeaways of the technologies, it is all about building out, and somebody mentioned it yesterday, saying, why have multiple telecommunications infrastructures all doing different things? Well, actually, guess what? We're just about to launch in the next month a software platform that will hook up any device in the neighbourhood network. That's lighting, smart electricity metering, gas, water, traffic lights, anything, and also any infrastructure. So not only mesh, RF mesh, but LoRa, cellular, any device we can hook up. And that's creating then just one single platform that will then go into the meter data management systems of people like Oracle, etc. So this last slide I'm just talking about is some of the takeaways from what we've done to date. And if you look at, really, I think we started the conversation here about deployment planning and GIS mapping needs to be improved, on doing the link budgets, etc. Finding out from the mobile operators where it doesn't work. And let's face it, there are difficulties with some of the mobile operators' coverage here in India. We need to be sort of smarter and better equipped right at the planning stage, right up front, of how we can deploy, so we can deploy quicker and smarter as you go forward. Look at the service level agreements that come out. Everybody's talking about so much theory in service level agreements. Well, somebody just used the words earlier on. Make things more practical and make them more real, because some of the SLAs are just, well, dare I say a joke, because, you're just not going to meet them. It's just unrealistic to put them in there in the first place. It looks like somebody's just been paid to fill a document up with all the latest theory they can think about. And looking at then data readings, you want readings every 15 minutes. We talk about big data. My God, you're going to have some big data if you're going to have all that information or the data put into information. 15 minutes is, if you want, we do deliver 15 minutes, but what are you going to do with that information? There's too much, and it's not going to change every 15 minutes as to what you're getting. So I look at that. And the standards, well, we've moved from having proprietary systems when we first came here. Now we've got standards, IPv6, it's low plan, all those famous words, and, the standards on the meters. Well, you know what's happened, don't you? Actually, you're paying more because you want standards. It's sort of a bit crazy for me to say, put the standards in, it's going to cost you more. Well, why? Why have you made them mandatory when you should actually have them to guidelines only? And let then, yourself, from a commercial point of view, decide which way you want to go. Thanks for listening. Cheers.
Thank you, John.